Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us today. It's a pleasure for us to welcome you to the first of the IMAP Virtual Roadshows. We've run dozens of webinars over the last 3 or 4 years, but this is the first time we've run a series of webinars on a single theme. And of course, this grew out of our need to take the Advisor Roadshow and virtualize it. We presented this in Brisbane and managed to get away with it before the lockdown. But this is a chance to take the content which I think was really important and speaks to the theme of professionalisation, what it means for advice businesses. Now, before I introduce our speakers, let me remind you that we have sent all of those advisors and others who were registered ahead of time for the live event a menu log voucher. So you're free to use that voucher at any time over the next month as our guests. And I'd like to thank the sponsors who've supported that. Now, very briefly, a little more about our planning for the rest of this year and how we've adjusted in IMAP to the lockdown process. So firstly, the awards. Of course, we couldn't run those for June, so we've extended those to the 26th of December and made the submission date the 26th of June. I'd encourage you, if you're involved in managed accounts as a portfolio manager or or in the innovation series, to enter. These are our other events coming up. Investec in September, the portfolio management conferences live, we hope, in Sydney, Melbourne, and potentially Perth on the 10th and 18th of November in Sydney and Melbourne, respectively. Now, before I start, we're using live polling for this. And on the screen, you'll see a QR code. If you photograph the code, we're using that through this session today to poll a couple of questions that speak to the first session that we're running today. So I'd encourage you either from the emails that you were sent by IMAP or by just photographing the screen. I've done it, it works, to open Slido, and you'll find a poll question there. Now, this series runs over 4 days with 2 sessions for each day, and our first session was the opening session of the live roadshow as well. It seems to me that today we're talking about 2 really important topics that speak to the professionalisation of advice. And this, our first session today, with Leah Willis of Australian Ethical, Charles Stoddart of Zurich, and Mary Campbell of Gold Leaf Financial Services, grew out of, who remembers the bushfires now, grew out of our experience with the bushfires. Did the bushfires change the investing landscape as well? Mary is an advisor who's built her practice on clients for whom ethical issues are important. At the end of this session, I'll be introducing Paul Barrett as our next speaker in his talk, 270 Days to the Future.